Tonight, the filmmakers behind the movie Four-Eyed Monsters give us hope for using the internet to find true love. Or at least making a movie about finding true love. Either way. Plus, Blair Butler's Fresh Ink shows that yes, there is room in comics for zombie-fighting cowboy monks. Sweet. And we'll blow out our eardrums to the sounds of Oliver Future. But now, it's the program that's hopped up on goofballs. It's Attack of the Show!
Pick up on this.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Attack of the Show. Listen, we were going to open the Today's Show with a little rant on the Grammys, but we didn't watch it. And according to the Nielsen ratings from last night, neither did you. You see, the Grammys averaged 17.6 million viewers. Not bad. Not quite Attack of the Show numbers, but still pretty good. American Idol, on the other hand, pulled in 28.3 million viewers. Now, if the producers of the Grammys were wondering why people switched over to American Idol, well, we can save your research department a hell of a lot of time. Here's an example of the type of lady we'd see if we tuned into Idol. Not bad, right? She's up and coming, she's attractive, she's a singer. Here's what we'd get, on the other hand, from the Grammys. Yo! That's, it's like watching your mom do Pilates. That's not hot. You don't want that. So to cleanse your mind of that horrible mental image, here's Sarah Lane.
Thanks, Kev. Now take a deep breath and enter the feed. Just when not, Steve Jobs didn't have any more one more things up his sleeve, and Gadget is floating the rumor that a touchscreen video iPod is on the horizon. It's believed to have a 3.5-inch screen and a virtual scroll wheel. Now, of course, as Nano owners already know, nothing is better for your iPod screen than poking at it 800 times a day. Really nice finish. Now, but Apple may have itself some competition. Listen to this. A new open source digital music service called Songbird is aiming to take down iTunes. It's built on some of the same code as the web browser Firefox. Songbird is going to give users a very iTunes-like interface, but instead of hooking into just one music library, it links into all of them. So head to songbirdnest.com to check it out and find out a little bit more. Now, we've been giving X-Men 3 director Brett Ratner kind of a lot of crap lately, so we have to step back and ask ourselves, does he really deserve it? I think the most recent X3 photos answer that with a resounding yes. First, we have a very clear shot of new villain Juggernaut. Come on, he's loaded with more fake muscle than the San Francisco Giants. We're going to take it all the way this year, by the way. Then we have fan favorite X-Men Colossus. Now, apparently, his skin is no longer like turning into solid metal. It's more like aluminum foil, weather beater deck paint. Not really sure what's going on there. Brett, why? Why did you do this to us? I don't know why. Now, Brokeback Mountain fever has swept through the Academy Awards. It's all they talk about, the Golden Globes, and even a few dark corners backstage at the Country Music Awards. But now it's coming to The Sims. A guy has posted on modthesims2.com a way to turn your avatars into nature-loving cowboys. No longer feel the need to hide your fake love for other fake people of the same fake virtual sex. The U.S. government, the most straight-up gangsta government in the world, may be developing plans to data sweep political blogs and even emails in their ongoing efforts to catch terrorists. So all you Gawker-addicted Hamas members, take warning. In equally disturbing news, a site called Obey Butterstick is asking that you obey Butterstick. Butterstick is apparently a panda, and he's taking a stand for panda issues, and there's a manifesto and a countdown clock that's ticking away towards something. So it may be viral marketing, ARG, panda terrorists. Stay tuned. We will have more. And finally, since emailing funny monkey videos is the very foundation upon which the internet has been built, CareerBuilder.com has brought us monk email. What can I say other than this?
Welcome to Attack of the Show. I'm your host, Primate Pereira. We've got some great things lined up for you today, so be sure to stay tuned. Monkey mail for life.
Exactly. Now go log on. You're wasting valuable time, wasting time. And now let's say we hit you upside the face with some headlines. Yahoo China again accused of ratting out a journalist. Oprah Winfrey signs a $55 million deal with XM Radio. McDonald's fries are 1/3 fattier than previously thought. The creators of the MP3 file format develop a DRM tool. And yes, another Baywatch movie is in the works. And that, my friends, is the feed, and I've got nothing else for you. Sorry.
The feed is brought to you by Oxy Acne Solutions. Oxy helps keep acne from landing on your face.
I don't know if I heard the feed story correctly about the government doing some data sweeping.
Yes.
That sounds so polite. Like they're not spying. They're
cleaning up.
They're throwing a little mop and glow on your info, taking a Swiffer to it.
Isn't that
They're
nice?
data sweeping. Because apparently wiretaps weren't enough.
Sure. Well, here's what's going on. The system called Advise is designed to collect large amounts of information, supposed to only raise flags when patterns of data suggest that something illegal is going on.
Yeah, but
that's what it's supposed to do.
How do you even define illegal, though? Because it's like they'll go after you. They went after that one guy for posting a picture, a Photoshop of George Bush with a water bong and an AK-47 on Flickr. Like, that's not necessarily illegal,
right.
Or is it, you know? And we don't know what type of information is being culled or how much information is actually being gathered. There's no details. I don't like it.
I know. And a lot of people, are very paranoid based on things that the government has been doing. And rightly so. And rightly so. Well, I guess what's some good news is it's not fully in effect yet. So there's cause to worry, but, it's not necessarily happening right this second. The government's also claiming that this technology has revealed plots in the past. Now, that doesn't really comfort me, because I think they'd say that whether it had or not.
They say that about anything.
Sure.
Of course they would.
I mean, maybe the government's being truthful, and maybe they're not, and I wouldn't know.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. It's probably safer to assume the latter. But the Christian Science Monitor, they reported on the story, and they're guessing that the first things to be analyzed will be news sites, political blogs, and emails. Which is really sad, because if you're going to commit some sort of a terrorist act, you're not going to MySpace to blog about it. Just let you know, here's the music I'm currently listening to. Oh, I'm committing a terrorist act
I would like to know what they would find.
Yeah, exactly. So we figured we'd press our luck and really test the limits of the software. Make a couple blog posts out there and see how long it takes before we either get shot dead or just interrogated and then shot dead.
Tell the people more, Kev.
Glad you're interested. Here's our new blog. We made it over at the old Blogger. It's called Fun with Dick and George. You can get it at blogspot.com. It's a /fiction blog about the president and vice president.
Oh, that Dick and George.
Yes, that Dick and George.
Okay.
The president and vice president of the United States. And their deep and secret desires, which, in case you're not following us, would be this here. The tale is really, it's a mixed martial arts love story called Only Terrorists Tap Out of Love. Huh? You like it? I got you hooked, right?
I like it.
So we wanted to give you a little excerpt from the story. This is the part where Cheney has Bush in the half guard.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna close my
It's almost a
eyes.
full mount. Looking down, Dick noticed a familiar outline in George's sweatpants. What the hell? He began, but just as suddenly broke off. There was a softness now in George's eyes, a tenderness he hadn't seen since that long ago night in Crawford. Now, I understand this is a taste test. We're just whetting your appetite, and here's why. We've written the first chapter. There's more to it. We just wanted to give you a little tease. We want to encourage you to go to the blog and continue the story. Add to the spicy tale in the comments section. We're going to make the whole fan fiction, print it out, and send it off to old Georgie.
It's hot.
Whenever you get two guys in the octagon,
wow,
it's going to happen.
And we also, we want you to participate because we don't want to be in federal prison all by ourselves.
No.
We're going down, you're going down.
Exactly. See you in the showers. Coming up, Blair Butler graces our comic book roundup, fresh ink with tales of concentration camps and zombies. Yes, it's the feel-good segment of the year. Next.
Welcome. I am Dr. Jay Hopkins, and this is your Lost Viewer Orientation. Because so many of you lack the mental faculties to process all the information in a given episode of Lost, we at the Dorkma Initiative are here to do it for you. Let us begin with last night's episode 204, The Long Con. First incident. In the flashback, you witness Sawyer discussing a con with his partner in crime. But did you notice their waitress? It was none other than fellow castaway Kate's mother. Next incident. On the beach, Hurley and Saeed managed to get a radio signal. The song they heard was Moonlight Serenade by Glenn Miller. Hurley then made an offhand joke about time travel, but as I know you're well aware, Glenn Miller did mysteriously disappear while flying from England to Paris in 1944. And the radio call letters, WXO, sound suspiciously like those used by American Armed Forces Radio circa World War II. Next incident, in the hatch, Locke was seen holding a copy of An Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge, which is about a Civil War soldier who dreams he escapes from a hanging, but is, in reality, dead. You may recall that last season, Charlie was mysteriously revived after being hung from a tree, and Ana Lucia remarked upon meeting Saeed that she feels as though she's already dead. Final incident, Hurley finds a manuscript for a novel called Bad Twin. This one, actually, we have a definitive answer for. Bad Twin is about... I know, I really couldn't believe it either. In retrospect, it was kind of obvious, I suppose. Well, that is all. Again, I am Dr. Jay Hopkins, and on behalf of the Dortma Initiative, I thank you for your participation in Lost. Good day.
No, no, it's not the mind-altering powers of Brainiac. The walls are dripping. They're really dripping with fresh ink. Oh, it's a big week for Fresh Ink. Lots of good titles out there.
Yes.
Blair Butler, our resident comic expert, is going to help you sift through them. Blair, what do we have this week?
We got all sorts of stuff. We're starting with Invincible, number 28.
Number 28, it's the story of kind of a teenage superhero trying to cope with his newfound powers.
Yes.
Right?
Basically, one of the driving forces of this series, the kid has Superman-like powers. So does his father. And his father was this great superhero who, as it turns out, not such a good guy. And this current issue finally deals with his father coming back into the series.
Now, Daddy apparently wasn't the greatest artist of all, in my opinion, because
Oh, really?
a little too cartoony for my taste. So,
See,
what do you think
I
about
like
the art
Ryan
style?
Ottley's art. I'm a fan of the artist, and I think it really complements, because it does sort of have like this kid-like quality, a lot like Ultimate Spider-Man. But one of the things I love about this series is it's written by Robert Kirkman, who writes The Walking Dead, which I love. And to me, this series lags when the dad isn't in it, because that sort of like butting heads of the
Sure.
kid and the dad is really driving force of the series. So it's great to see the dad back, and that's one of the reasons that I really recommend this issue.
All right, done. That's a buy on the Invincible number 28.
You got
Next, we have the X-Men 198.
Right.
Now, this one, this is a series which takes place after the House of M, where most of the world's mutants, they've lost their powers.
Right.
They are powerless.
Yes.
And the remaining mutants, they call themselves the 198.
Right, 'cause
And they're seeking kind of refuge with Professor X, right?
Right. Well, there are very few mutants left, and there were so many mutants in the Marvel Universe before this big House of M event that they could fend for themselves. Now that there are very few, they're getting beaten up by human gangs, which is just,
That's a little-
it's sad.
That's sad, yeah.
But they're forcing the surviving mutants into internment camps. And one of the interesting things about this series is really drawing a lot of parallels between, Japanese Americans being interned in the Second World War,
Right.
which is kind of interesting. I think the art's great. It's written by a guy named David Hine, who's also writing Son of M, which of the House of M Fallout books that one's my favorite.
I really enjoyed this book. I liked that it took old mutants and new mutants. They kind of got them together
Right.
in a little shanty town.
Right.
But what is your verdict on this one? Is this a buy, a browse, or are we burning it?
So far, it's a browse for me. Yeah.
No, continue. I was just gasping.
No,
I'm
it's
short of breath.
I think it's a really good concept. I think Son of M is doing it a little bit better, but it's a lot of like third string mutants, and if you're going to do third string mutants, I say go for the X Factor.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So a browse on X-Men 198. Now
Yeah.
this last comic, this one's classic. I
Right.
was perusing this one in the old office, and I laughed so hard that the guy in the stall next to me was literally like, "What are you reading?" And I slid it under to him. It was Shaolin Cowboy number 4.
Right.
This is the Eisner-nominated series about an exiled Shaolin monk and his talking mule wandering the land, and I guess the monk has a bounty on his head. And
Right.
what the hell is going on in this comic?
Well, this comic comes to us from Jeff Darrow, and it's a really crazy comic. A lot of people are going to pick up issue 4 if they haven't read the other issues and go, what the hell? But you know what?
That's exactly what I did.
If you've read issues 1, 2, and 3, you're still going to pick it up and probably go, what the hell? That's one of the nice things about this. It really doesn't feel like it relies on any distinct narrative or even coherent narrative, because the art It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Jeff Darrow does this amazingly detailed art. It's almost like Mobius, like it's so intricate. It's such a great series because it's doing something very different from what a lot of other comics are doing, and it's beautiful the way it does it.
I'm a buy with it. Are you a browse, you a burn, or are you going with me?
I'm a buy, and another thing about this comic that makes it so interesting, it comes out from Burly Man, which is...
The Wachowski brothers outfit, right?
It's the Wachowski brothers comic book company, and right now the big two titles they're publishing are this and Doc Frankenstein, but to me this is the best of what they're putting out.
Shaolin Cowboy #4
Yep.
is a buy for the Benoit Balls
Definitely.
alone. Miss Butler, thank you for joining us
Thank you,
again.
Kevin.
Another great round of Fresh Ink as usual. Be sure to check out our show notes for more on these comics, but still ahead, you're in the mix, son, and the geek is back with a quickness and a vengeance or two. And then, don't go to bed without checking for four-eyed monsters. They love you. Stay tuned. God, where am I? What the hell is going on here?
Hey, Kevin, this chatter wants to know if you think the Xbox 360 is better than the PlayStation 3. So what's your answer?
This evil world rules.
No! 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 Please! Please, no more! No more! Please stop! No more, please! I can't do it! I can't! No! No! No!
Pod people have officially taken over the film festival world. Slamdance recently screened its first ever video podcast, which was a behind-the-scenes peek at the making of Susan Bice and Aaron Crumley's Four-Eyed Monsters. Take a look.
It had been 52 hours since Aaron had last slept. And with me not there, I was afraid he wasn't going to make it.
I got to the airport just in time to miss my flight. A rescheduled connecting flight brought me to Vegas, where I decided to take a nap and missed my second flight.
if you are subconsciously trying to sabotage your arrival into Park City, I mean, you probably need a whole team of people forcing you into the car, right? Are you kidding?
Susan and Aaron, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's so good to see you guys in person because I've been watching your podcast. Now, to explain it to everybody out there, it's kind of a complicated story you guys have. You made a movie that was accepted into the Slamdance Film Festival.
Last year. And then you decided to podcast your trip to Park City, Utah? Is that sort of how the podcasting version of this got started?
Well, we tend to just film stuff, just anyways. So I think it was a few months ago that we decided to take everything we had filmed with going to Slamdance, with going to a bunch of other film festivals, and just other strife and hardships while trying to get our film out there, and sort of cut it together and have that story be a way for people to find out about our filmmaking and what we're up to and stuff.
But what's happened now is that your podcasts have become really popular. So it's almost like, I mean, what's really generating the buzz, the original movie that obviously you want to talk about, or the podcast themselves, because they're very much about the relationship between the two of you. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Which the film is as well.
Yeah, the video podcast is sort of a continuation of the same aesthetics and ideas that were in the film. But yeah, I mean, it's a new format, and it's a format that filmmakers really haven't been taking advantage of. And when we started watching video podcasts, we thought, like, well, why couldn't we show people what we do this way? Like, why not use this new kind of technology to get our message out there, to get people aware of us?
Yeah, and it's such a question mark in your mind when you're making something for like a film festival, maybe to get released or whatever, like it was with the film. But with the video podcast, it's like, no, we're gonna when this is done being edited, we're gonna post it online, and people are gonna see it, the people that are subscribed. So it's just sort of like, oh, okay, well, thank God, finally we have like an audience for stuff that we're making, and it's become like a counterpart too to Ford Monsters, the film. It's like they're weird. They're really like melding and like.
Yeah. It's like the film doesn't have to end. It just sort of keeps going in real time. When you watch your podcast, your video podcasts, they look like just little movies. They're well done. They're edited. There's effects put on them. For people who think of podcasting, and you think of people rambling on about their day, whether it's just an audio or a video thing, or you listen to NPR on your iPod later. It seems like the production value could be just like anything you'd see in a cinema.
Well, we're filmmakers, so
yeah.
I mean that's how we do stuff. I mean the way we're most comfortable communicating is like through the medium of editing video and shooting things and all that. So I think just it's just kind of natural that we try and do a good job with each episode.
For a while, people were telling us, oh, you should do a weblog about taking your movie on the festival circuit, like a written one. And we're not writers, like, in that sense. We're like, the best way for us to tell people what's going on in our lives is the same way that we have been in the past, which is through video. So
I mean, it is pretty much, it's like a weblog, it's just your kind of a weblog.
Right.
Now, when you watch the podcast, there's a lot of stuff going on. You guys seem like you're very open and honest about problems and issues that arise. Your parents are part of the podcast now because you're living with them. I mean, is all of this true? Because when I think of reality shows, I've seen enough to know that they embellish certain things, or they create scenarios that maybe weren't there.
Yeah, I think what reality shows do is they come in with a studio and they, or a network or whatever, they create a scenario and then they let things unfold.
It's almost like a game show.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what we're doing is kind of like, well, what's going on with us? Like, from our perspective, and, what, I don't know.
Like, all the scenarios are true and real. At the same time, it's not straight up documentary because it's all being told through our perspective and like our subjective lens. So just because you're telling it from your like own head, there's always like embellishments and there's always kind of filters put on things and how you perceive things. It's like if you talk about an ex-boyfriend, and he's not there to defend himself, you're not going to give him the best portrayal. So
yeah, so from our perspective, it's all absolutely true.
Right.
But I think
perhaps there's a way to create drama just by editing in a certain way.
Well, I think that living your life just creates drama. Like, just the way that you perceive the things that happen, like, oh, now they're asking for grandchildren. Okay, well, that's really intense or whatever, like in episode 2. But it's like, I think that just comes natural, and because it's about us, inherently, it's going to be, like, heightened to be about how we're experiencing it.
Yeah.
Well, it is very interesting subject material, I gotta tell you. Four-Eyed Monsters, thank you guys so much for coming on the show and telling us a little bit more about it. I highly encourage all of you out there to watch the story unfold. You can go online and visit foureyedmonsters.com and make sure you subscribe to their free video podcast. You don't even have to go find it, it'll just come to you. Now, don't go anywhere on this show. Internet impresario Tom Fulp is up next, along with the ubiquitous Jimmy the Geek.
Guests on Attack of the Show receive eye dogs. Little dog, big sound. Welcome back for another dose of Attack of the Show. Coming up, Newgrounds creator Tom Fulp shows off some Flash movies. And of course, today is Live Music Thursday, presented by Dentine Ice. And we have Oliver Future performing right here. He uses video games to handicap sporting events. And last week, he shocked the betting world by hitting 7 out of 9 of his Super Bowl bets. This week, he joins us live from the Winter Olympics in Torino, Italy. Whether you like it or not, here's Jimmy the Geek. Jimmy, how are you, my friend?
Friendy, it's cold enough to freeze the balls of a brass monkey.
I imagine it is kind of chilly. But I have to say, I'm thrilled to see that you're getting into the Olympic spirit.
Actually, a little misunderstanding on my part, Brendy. Some chick from Sweden said she was a biathlete and wanted to pin me before I could ask her to bring a friend. She's sticking buttons all over my jacket. I'm like, Helga, what gives, babe?
Tough break, Jimmy. All right, what do you got for us?
All right. Let's start off with figure skating, baby. Like most men, I became a fan as soon as they started beating the hell out of each other with steel pipes. And there you see the board, Irina Slutskaya, the big favorite. I call her Slutty for short. And she is the horse to beat at 2-5. Flexible ice princess Sasha Cohen at 9-2. And Italy's Carolina Kostner has home ice advantage at 7-1. And the old guard, Michelle Kwan, skates off into the sunset at 9-1. Brendy, according to Candy Stand Online Games and my research, Slutty looks to be the only one puckering up in the kiss and cry area after this one's over. She gets the gold and I get turned on. It's my win-win special of the week.
Jimmy, taking a rare venture into the land of triple Lutzes. What's next?
All right, moving on to the always exciting men's downhill and some much better video, Brendan, I promise you this time. Whether you think Bodie Miller is an idiot or whether you think he's just a jackass, you have to admit he's talented, but my research shows that this Kantahar Banchetta slope is too much mountain for the mouth. Look for him to eat a gate and roll the rest of the way down. Meanwhile, the hills are alive for Austria's Michael Walkover. He takes gold easy, and if the kid can go without lunch money for a week, throw it on fellow countryman Herman Mayer. I like him at 9-1. It's my Do Re Mi Basso La Ti special of the week.
Jimmy, when you know the notes to sing, you can sing almost anything, my friend.
It's all about having confidence, baby. Let's talk medal count now. Brendy, the Winter Games are always a bitch to handicap. For every Sasha Cohen that gets the U.S. a medal, there are frickin' 10 Swedish meatballs sucking up the gold in the short bus events like biathlon and the luge. The U.S. is dead money. Freedom took the fight out of Russia, and Canada doesn't have a deep enough bench. It's a shootout between Germany and Norway, and there is better value in Scandinavia, baby. It's my Yes Way special of the week.
Jimmy, you truly symbolize the Olympic spirit, my friend. Have a great time in Torino.
Way ahead of you already, Brendan. On my way over to a hot tub party with the Finnish curling team right now. Jimmy's going to show these chicks what I got my gold medal for, if you know what I mean, babe.
Unfortunately, I do. That's Jimmy the Geek, live from Italy. Don't expect us to kick back and sip espresso. We got more show to get through. There's a live performance by Oliver Future on the way, plus Newgrounds creator Tom Fulp, and a basket full of Flash movies.
You know, as soon as we start mentioning Flash animation of any kind, we immediately have to get Newgrounds founder Tom Fulp on the horn. And once again, he answers the call of duty. Welcome back to the show, Tom Fulp. How's it going?
Hey, Kevin. How's it going? It's great to be back on the show.
It's good to have you on as well. I want to check in on the site. How's it going? Still filled with porn and pop-up ads?
Not as many porn and pop-up ads as before, but you can still find them if you're looking hard enough.
Oh, but we should still visit then, right?
Yes.
All right.
The front page is pop-up free.
Fantastic. That's good to hear. You've picked out some of your favorite movies for us, right? Some Flash movies?
Yes, I picked out our best movie from December and our two best from January.
All right. Well, the first one was one of my favorites that I saw, Ultimate Showdown of Destiny.
Yes.
Which, well, let's get your impressions first. You're the expert. Why was this film so damn successful?
It combines a catchy song with a lot of popular characters and lots of fighting, too. So it pretty much has all the elements of a blockbuster hit, and it's been a really big hit with over 3 million views already.
Now, was this created for Newgrounds specifically, or?
He said he created it for Newgrounds originally, although it's definitely spread since then.
Right. E-Bombs ripped it off as he rips off everything else on the internet?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know if it's on there or not.
All right.
It was created by Alt F4 and Trapezoid, who have made some other videos that people are familiar with.
Alt F4 happens to be one of my favorite shortcuts, so kudos to him.
Okay.
Now, in this video, you can actually see Chuck Norris kick Indiana Jones in the beanbag, correct?
Yeah. Chuck Norris is red hot on the net right now. I don't know if you guys have been to that Chuck Norris Facts website.
Oh, yeah.
Or not. Oh, yeah. His tears can cure cancer, but he's never cried.
And he doesn't sleep. He waits. But we're moving on now. Zombie Chapter 7, which is like every other generic kind of anime-inspired movie I've ever seen. Why is it so successful in your opinion?
Zombie, people like zombies. It's got some slick graphics and a good story. It's a series by James Farr, who, last I heard, is actually working on a theatrical version, a full-length, upgraded, movie. So it's really exciting to see how it progresses and where it's going to end up.
Yeah, looking at it here, I got to give it some credit. I was watching it on my old 386 SX, and it kind of chugged. Pretty impressive here. Are they taking advantage of any new Flash techniques here? Is this a popular style that everybody's using now, or is this unique? Does it stand out?
Actually, I don't think there's anything in that movie that's Flash 8 specific. A lot of the movies are using a lot of blurring effects. That's the big effect for Flash 8 is the Gaussian blur, and everyone's making really heavy use of that. But I don't think Zombie 7 makes any use of any of the new effects. It's pretty traditional.
You ever given the old Gaussian blur to a special someone?
Many people, actually.
Fantastic. I know you've given them a salad finger or two. You talked about salad fingers last time you were on the show, and I hated you for it then. I hate you even more now for it because they're up to episode 7.
I promise this will be my last time plugging salad fingers, but I'm just a big fan of the weirdness of it.
You don't get a royalty check each time you mention the cartoon, right?
No, not at all.
All right,
but, I am a big fan of David Firth, though. So
I'm a big fan of his as well. I give the cartoon a hard time, but it's actually it's kind of awkwardly entertaining. What is the purpose here in Salad Fingers? What is going on in this episode?
In this episode, Salad Fingers' brother has returned from the Great War, but it's really just a corpse that he dug up. So I don't really know if there's any bigger story than that, but I just love watching it because it's so twisted.
It is incredibly twisted. And now these are gaining popularity on your site. Do they blow up overnight, or does it take them a while to really get there?
Salad Fingers and Zombie, they blow up pretty quick when they get submitted because they do have a fan following. In fact, a lot of users do complain that the established followings tend to get higher scores. So those two were the top 2 ranked in January. But definitely it does take time to build that audience.
All right, and finally, I have to mention real quick, in my hands here, I have one of these high-tech doodads that the kids are using on the playgrounds. PlayStation Portable, I'm looking at Newgrounds. You guys are on the old PSP now?
Yeah, we have a specific version of the site that you can only access on your PSP. If you go to newgrounds.com/PSP, you'll get a special layout with movie downloads and wallpapers that you can put on your PSP. It's tons of fun. I recommend everyone check it out.
And if they have any problems getting the videos to run, they can email you directly tfulp@newgrounds.com, correct?
Yes, or
awesome.
Tom at Newgrounds.
There we go, Tom.
would be best.
I hope you enjoy all the tech support for the thousands of people who will now be confused.
And we also tell them to be sure to check out the help links.
Oh, yes.
I told them, actually.
Will do. It's a little complicated to get the videos on, but once you do, they're awesome. Tom, thank you for joining us and sharing your favorite Flash picks. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right, everybody, of course, you can find all these fabulous cartoons, webtoons, if you will, at Tom Fulp's world-famous Newgrounds.com, and you got to check out the PSP portal. It's awesome. But as everybody knows, you can't convincingly rock out until you've sat through at least 4 commercials or so. So by the time Oliver Future gets here, you'll be all set for the rockin'. Stay tuned.
Now let's hear it for Oliver Future.
Day here. I'm sorry I didn't catch your name. Invited and swallowed, looking for someone else to blame. Look into your heart, what heart are you talking about? Look into your heart, what heart are you talking about? This is the life that we have chosen for ourselves. And I said that this is the life that we have chosen for ourselves. What heart are you talking about? 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 We'll just keep conceding until they castrate everything. I'm not saying this isn't gonna hurt. I'm just saying if you want the good, you can't control the meaning. I can't control the flow, and the things we thought we knew are all about to explode. And I said there, this is the life that we have chosen for ourselves. And I said there, this is the life that we have chosen for ourselves. What heart are you talking about? 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 What heart? What heart? What heart are you talking about? You're talking about. You're talking about. What heart are you talking about? What heart are you talking about?
Great. As usual, make sure to check out our show notes for more information. And don't forget to pick up Oliver Future's new EP, Bear Chronicles Volume 2. Now let's wash down those tunes with a tall glass of chat. We'll be digging into those questions of yours next.
You're watching G4, the #1 podcasted network in America.
Wall-to-wall game reviews.
Always expect the unexpected. Go to iTunes or G4TV.com for details.
iPod of the stars. Stephen Hawking's iPod up on Cripple Creek, the band. Cosmic Pants, Casio Core. I'm Rolling On, Bill Clifton. Relax, Frankie Goes to Hollywood. I Can't Dance, Genesis.
What's going on?
What? I'm sorry? I missed that.
I don't know. I was trying to...
All right, IRC chat room. Let's go. What's in it?
Okay, Run Faster wants to know, hey, Kevin, did you find the bearded Sarah sexy? Ooh, good question.
Yeah.
I was actually wondering the same thing,
The
Kev.
answer is yes, but the alternate dimension, Sarah, was so much hotter.
Because of the beard or for other reasons?
Come on. No?
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
I'm just not getting
Yeah.
It's a slow Thursday.
Woo!
for us,
Hey,
yeah.
beer o'clock.
Gotta
Let's
wake
go.
up pretty early in the morning.
Is there
to...
a joke?
He was trying to say something like, I really have a beard. It was not very funny. I'm just trying
Next question.
to make him feel better.
Yeah, it's right now.
Simone Crazy says, hey, Kevin, what types of things did you get away with in the alternate dimension?
Well, I didn't get to spend much time there. I got to torture the chatter. I got to double dip in craft services, which was nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you've seen our craft services. It's not that great.
Yeah, I know.
Double dip in some pudding.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They were out of chips, though, so I had to improvise. That's it.
Okay. Thanks to our guests, Tom Fulp, Blair Butler, Susan Bice, Aaron Crumley, and, of course, Oliver Future. Coming up next on G4, ignore that Surgeon General and his idiot warnings. There's no such thing as too much Star Trek. Take it from us. We got back-to-back episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation nightly at 8 p.m. Now let's hear it one more time for Oliver Future.
Yeah!
Wednesday, tried to go out, but my nerves got me beat. Went back to the house. Thursday, stared at the wall, threw down the phone to call, and I said, baby, everything's gonna be alright if you just stay away, way away from me. Alright, baby, said everything's gonna work out fine if you just stay away, way away from me. Felt like a wreck, empty and stunned, as bad as cheap sex. Yeah, I drove by your house. What else did you expect?